Good evening. Welcome to FA Cup quarter-final weekend, Part 1. Part 2's tomorrow. First tonight, it's Liverpool against Tottenham. Spurs in the last 8, of course, thanks to Ronnie. And Rosenthal in the team against his old club. Ian Rush made it 41 cup goals to secure Liverpool's replay win against Wimbledon. Could he claim the outright scoring record today? Then it's Crystal Palace against Wolves. Other priorities for their managers: for Palace to stay up, for Wolves to go up. But of course a cup final would be a wonderful bonus or consolation. The match involved a player called Shirtliff. Guess which one he is? Then the Premiership, Blackburn out front and out to extend their lead at Coventry today. That's our third game. Goals from elsewhere as usual. And a fierce Liverpool-Spurs rivalry on the bench tonight. Well, that's where we start. Liverpool already in one Wembley final, Spurs looking for their first ever FA Cup win over them. A fabulous atmosphere at Anfield, and the commentator is John Motson.
It's the biggest crowd of the season at Anfield, just under 40,000 all seated, and the 5,500 Tottenham fans among them find that not for the first time this season the FA Cup seems not to favour them, because Spurs have never beaten Liverpool in this competition in 4 previous meetings. And if it's a big day for Rosenthal, the Rocket, and Rush, the record, it also means a lot to Neil Razor Ruddock, who served Tottenham twice before joining Liverpool and scored an own goal when the two clubs drew here in the league in November. That was the start of Liverpool's current sequence of only 1 defeat in 24 matches. Today, Mark Walters starts in preference to Stig Inge Bjørneby. Otherwise, Roy Evans keeps faith with the men who steered Liverpool to Wembley in the Coca-Cola Cup. A lot's been said about the 5-man defence, which will be a 4-man line today, and the potency of Rush and Fowler, but the key figures could be the mix and match in central midfield. 21-year-old Jamie Redknapp, a former Tottenham junior, and 31-year-old John Barnes. The responsibility for dealing with them lies with the Tottenham midfield pair, Darren Anderton and David Howells. It promises to be quite a battle, that. Jerry Francis names the same side, and Spurs too are on an impressive roll. Only 2 defeats in their last 20 matches. Referee Martin Bodman from Cornwall, and the noise speaks for itself here. Although I've rarely come across a cup tie in which so many of the players just couldn't wait for it to start. At the Liverpool training ground yesterday and in the Tottenham hotel last night, there was a buzz that only comes with the later rounds of this fabulous competition, the FA Cup. Sheringham's header on. Phil Babb is going to be playing in the left-back position. The cross in by Sheringham. Ronnie Rosenthal hanging back here behind Rob Jones. It comes on to McManaman. Jamie Redknapp, Barnes to his left, and to his left is Mark Walters. It's gone the other way, offside Redknapp, but that's the move that Liverpool hope will work, trying to get a midfield player through, something that earlier in the season they were criticised for not doing, but now Roy Evans and company have got Redknapp in a very mobile role. Oh, there's Klinsmann, a chance for Spurs. What a good save by David James. The first real chance, 2 minutes gone. Spurs have a corner when they might have had a goal. Jurgen Klinsmann got through, left knee of the goalkeeper. Anderton to take the corner. Half away by Ruddock, in by Rosenthal. David Howells. Well, could Tottenham have asked for a clearer opening than that in their first real attack? And the chance fell to the top scorer. The Liverpool defence got themselves into a bit of a mess, but you've got to give David James some credit. He stood up well. McManaman away from Rosenthal, taking on Edinburgh. Oh, and the clearance from Austin nearly went to Fowler. This is bad. John Scales. Mark Walters now. And again Walters. Barmby showing him to his right, Klinsmann in the middle, still Barmby, Klinsmann. Oh, and Barmby went down and Spurs are appealing for a penalty. Martin Boddenham backtracks, shakes his head. It was Barmby who played the ball first. The challenge is by Ruddock. In my view, it's outside the area anyway. It wouldn't have been a penalty. It would have been a free kick, if anything. Walters. Oh, it was a mistake by Tottenham. Robbie Fowler's away, he's got rushed to his left. It's still Fowler. And that's why he gets so many goals. He hardly needs any backlift. The shot comes in so quickly. Not the greatest angle for him. He got away from Calderwood here. Tried to shoot across the goalkeeper. Walker was down. And now Barmby, what a good team player Sheringham is. He's on the right wing now. Klinsmann's in the centre, another good ball from Sheringham to Barmby. And here's Anderton. And the sliding challenges there by Babb. Took the ball cleanly and conceded a corner. And Colin Calderwood up, right on the line. Gary Mabbott joining him now. Sheringham, that's a corner Spurs have practiced and scored from this season. The idea is for Anderton to drill it in low to the near side of the box and Sheringham to volley it. Forward by Ruddock. That's Rush pestering Austin. Babb to Barnes. Walters. Spurs break is up with Barmby. It came first time Ronnie Rosenthal's really had the ball. He didn't have it for long. So Sheringham. What a good ball. Klinsmann. Barmby's made the run. Oh, and the pass just takes him slightly wider than he wanted to go. Still a chance for Tottenham. Ronnie Rosenthal with the header. And Liverpool immediately from the throw out. They've got a player down injured, but they're playing on with Jamie Redknapp. This is Fowler. 4 Liverpool players up. A swift counter-attack. Still Fowler. And the player hurt back there is John Scales. Mark Leather, the physio, is on. Well, here's the cross, and John Scales takes a whack there as the ball went over him and Sheringham. Forward by Mabbott, and off Barmby. Mistake, it's Anderton for Tottenham. Klinsmann couldn't reach it, and it ran along the 6-yard line. And to Liverpool's relief, it evaded Klinsmann from Anderton's build-up. But the mistake here is that of Mark Walters, a really mishit pass, and Anderton just wanted to knock that inside to Klinsmann if he could. McManaman. Ronnie Rosenthal being called upon at the moment to defend, along with 10 others from Tottenham. This is Scales. Oh, he's worked that well, John Scales. Oh, Nicky Barmby defending, but it's come back to Scales again. This is Jones. Here comes Rush. The header out only to Barnes. Doesn't get hold of it properly. Klinsmann with Scales. Sheringham. Oh, and Klinsmann pulled back. Was he on the edge? Referee Bodnam again was close. Doesn't want to know. Klinsmann angry. Now there was some contact. How serious it was is another matter. This is Redknapp. Oh, it's a good run. Took the board in his stride and found McManaman. Rob Jones on this side. 4 the other way for Liverpool. Jones finds Redknapp. Barnes is to the left. McManaman. Jones again. And the header by Klinsmann went to Howells, and then Ruddock stepped in. Calderwood. But now Liverpool looking menacing again with Walters. McManaman tucks it into Fowler. This is for John Barnes. This is Anderton, and he's away. Sheringham making a run on this side. Scales in the way. Klinsmann trying to close down the keeper with Sheringham. And now 2 more Spurs players shutting down space. But well played Redknapp to McManaman. And if they get this to the left, Liverpool, they're going to have a man over. It's Mark Walters. 3 the other way for him, taking on Austin. And he hasn't beaten him once yet. Still 0-0, it's Calderwood. Sheringham. I think Edinburgh was quite expecting that, and Rush plays it inside to Redknapp. Forward by Howells. And it's McManaman. On to Walters. Oh, Barmby slipped. It's still Walters. He's going all the way here. McManaman's outside him still. Walters cross. Fowler! Robbie Fowler yet again, but what about this from Mark Walters? It started way back. He got a cross in beyond 2 defenders, and Fowler's header beats the acrobatics of Walker. This is where Walters began the damage. Nicky Barmby tripped a bit on the turf, and Walters was away. Howells couldn't get to him. 2 others came to him. Calderwood and Austin, he beat them both. Lovely cross, good header. Liverpool in front. 38 minutes, and Robbie Fowler, the man who put them through to Wembley in the Coca-Cola Cup, scores his 28th goal of the season to give them hope of a semi-final in the FA Cup now. Oh, there's a chance here, and a tumble. Dean Austin and Robbie Fowler. But I think it was just a bit of push and shove, and neither appealed to the referee. Something of a torrid time now is Walters, and this is the team selection that Roy Evans had to make. Did he stick with Björneby, or did he play the more natural wingman? And the decision at the moment, bearing in mind where the goal came from, has to be seen to be right. This is Jones. Redknapp. McManaman. Walters again. this time Walker just gets an arm out. But it was another good delivery from Mark Walters. He's going inside Barmby here and curling it in with his right foot this time. Bad. Calderwood. The last minute of the first half. Liverpool 1, Tottenham 0. McManaman. Good tackle by Mabbott, read it beautifully. Sheringham. Barmby looks for Klinsmann. But Scales and Ruddock are doing a solid job on the German captain. This is Fowler. And now Redknapp helping it on again to Walters. What service he's getting out there. Barnes has gone outside him too. Appeals for handball. Referee has got an excellent view and he points to his chest. McManaman. Howell's looking for Klinsmann. He's got two defenders. Here's Sheringham. Oh, what a goal! What a reply by Tottenham and Teddy Sheringham. Right on half-time, they're back in it. Jurgen Klinsmann supplied the pass, but what a marvellous finish with the inside of the foot by Teddy Sheringham. Great technical skill. Klinsmann, great awareness, and just look at the way he picked his spot, right in the angle. A terrific goal, and it deserved by Sheringham, because Klinsmann would, I'm sure, say that in that early spell, Sheringham was the Tottenham player who stood out for Jerry Francis, and he's got his reward. Now this cup tie is living up to all the expectations. Sheringham. Oh, well played by Dean Austin. Saw the opening. Found Anderson out on the right, Klinsmann in the centre. Spurs come again. Sheringham. Good cross, Klinsmann's coming in and snatched out of the air by a very confident David James. Here's McManaman. Walters' effort. Well, a half that seemed to get better and better and ended on a really high note. Robbie Fowler, after 38 minutes, from Mark Walters' pinpoint cross, gave Liverpool the lead. But in the 45th minute, Spurs showed what they were made of. Klinsmann set the thing up, having missed an earlier chance, in fact, in the second minute. And it was Teddy Sheringham whose unerring finish made the half-time score 1-1. So far in the FA Cup this season, Liverpool have needed a replay in every round. Birmingham City, Burnley, Wimbledon. Now they're level again with Tottenham. And if there was a replay, it would be on Wednesday week at White Hart Lane. And even if there wasn't, the teams would still meet there that night in the FA Carling. So they're going to be seeing a bit of each other. And here's the start of the second half with striking the Kop end now. Barnes for Liverpool. To Rush, and now Walters. It's the same story. Walters against Austin. and he's foxed him, but Austin got back. Rush looking for Fowler, now Anderson for Spurs. It'll be played, I would imagine, at very much the same pace as the first half. And Babb tries to get across Klinsmann, and Barnby nearly nipped it from him. Rosenthal, and he's taking on Jones. He's one of the quickest in the business and gets the goal kick out of it. Difficult to take Rob Jones for pace, and Ronnie Rosenthal, who's no slouch himself, will be hoping to get rather more runs at him in the second half. But they know Ronnie only too well down there. Oh, it's good play by Mark Walters. And the third man it was that got the ball, Calderwood. Walters goes down, clutching his leg. And Calderwood puts the ball out. No intent there, just caught him awkwardly. But he'd gone past two players already by the time Calderwood came over. Alex Ferguson, one of the interested spectators today. His team have a match coming up against Liverpool. But of course, more importantly, at the moment for this weekend, they've got Queen's Park Rangers in the FA Cup tomorrow. Well, look at that skill from Darren Anderton. I mean, he played his way from his own penalty area to the halfway line and eventually probably ran out of steam. And Babb just sending that one over Austin. This is McManaman, Mabbott backpedaling. Good challenge, David Howells. That's one of the reasons he's playing there in the heart of the midfield. The best tackler in the club, arguably. Certainly among the midfield players. Well done by John Barnes. There's some nice, pretty football going on in the midst of a hectic cup tie here. Now then, Mabbott has knocked over McManaman, but again, Martin Boddenham, true to form, says play on, you've got the ball. Redknapp looking for Rush, closely marked again. McManaman, Barnes, Walters, inside again. Oh, that didn't miss by much. I wonder if Ian Walker really saw that. It seemed to go mighty close to the post from my angle. Walters has come inside Howells. Now, who's blocking the goalkeeper's view? Calderwood, no doubt. I'll tell you what, he watched it go by, rather. Scales, back in by Barnby. Klinsmann, onside. Well, that must be some sort of opportunity. Nick Barnby was the feeding player. Klinsmann, I think, tried to hammer it with his left foot and just didn't get proper contact. McManaman. Away from Calderwood, outside to Walters. Fowler in the penalty area, Rush behind him. Not too difficult for the goalkeeper. Oh, it went over Ruddock, and here's Sheringham. Oh, it's gone just wide. Well, the Kop crowd were really stuck to their seats there because Neil Ruddock made a mistake. He misjudged the ball. John Scales is looking. Teddy Sheringham nips in, and look at that, close. And a substitution twice over here by Liverpool. John Barnes has gone off, and they're going to bring on Michael Thomas and Stig Inge Bjørneby. So the other player to go off is Walters. So Michael Thomas, who once scored in the cup final for Liverpool, indeed the last time they won the trophy. He's on, so is Björneby in that left-sided position. And now it's Howells for Spurs. Dean Austin. Austin. Klinsmann hanging back with the header. Sheringham. Klinsmann. Oh, they're both miskicked, really. This is Rosenthal. And now Thomas getting into the action. Did well. Found Redknapp. And the expectancy rises from the Liverpool crowd. Redknapp's got McManaman to his left. Redknapp again. Redknapp shot and comfortable for the Tottenham goalkeeper. Always feeling a cup tie that the home side would do that bit more to try and win it first time round, but it doesn't always work that way. Spurs certainly wouldn't be complaining about a replay at White Hart Lane. This is John Scales, lovely crossfield ball to Björneby. McManaman's there, and here he is. Oh, he's inside, Calderwood, McManaman, good save. Two players appealing for a pullback, Russian Fowler, but from where McManaman was, the shooting chance presented itself. Björneby. And now Rob Jones. Redknapp. Redknapp once more. He's going to run on to Björneby. Oh, it was supposed to be a shot. It's Fowler, Thomas. And Klinsmann, a lovely turn for Tottenham to Barmby. Now, can they get players in support? Barmby's going alone. The challenge is from behind. It's a free kick. It's also going to be a booking. Rob Jones. Yellow card for coming in behind Nick Barmby. It might be the best Barmby could have got out of that situation, because the other Tottenham players were a little bit behind him at the time. He was looking up for help, had to go alone, and when the challenge came and it caught his leg before the ball was played. So free kick to Tottenham, 25 yards from goal. An angle which might tempt Darren Anderton. And that is Anderton, but it's high and handsome into the new Kop stand. Forward by Howells, but nobody in that space for Tottenham. Anderson got it back in. Oh, and here's Klinsmann for a great chance. It's Klinsmann for Tottenham, and he's got it with 2 minutes to go. Jerry Francis celebrating. Spurs have taken the lead for the first time in the tie, and Jurgen Klinsmann is the hero again. The flick on by Sheringham has got him clear, but tricky angle, a lovely finish into the corner. Watch Sheringham, number 10, he just edges the ball on, Ruddock's beaten, so is Jones, Klinsmann's in, and he curls it away from David James. And what drama here at Anfield. In the 89th minute, Tottenham Hotspur, who've never beaten Liverpool in the FA Cup, go 2-1 up with Klinsmann's 23rd goal of the season. How it's changed. Jurgen Klinsmann, who's written his name all over this Tottenham season, has scored a goal there that may well find a place in Spurs history. Unless Liverpool can do something even more unexpected in what time remains. You can never tell in the FA Cup, can you? Is Klinsmann on his way to Wembley? He's found Sheringham. There's a player gone down there in a challenge with Babb. It's Barmby. But the referee is looking the other way. He's also looking at his watch. And Spurs are through! Tottenham are in the semi-final. In a season when they weren't even in the FA Cup until December. Jerry Francis, all smiles. And Jurgen Klinsmann, as if the script could have been any better, has scored the winning goal. He missed the chance 2 minutes in, and he took one 2 minutes from the end. He's almost in tears, the German captain. What an emotional finish to this game. Ruddock sportingly congratulating Tottenham players, former colleagues among them. Defeated Liverpool players walk off absolutely shattered by what happened there. And another unpredictable chapter in the story of Jurgen Klinsmann, Jerry Francis, Tottenham Hotspur and the FA Cup. People are going to say, as they often do, this phrase, oh, their name was written on the cup, because after all, Spurs weren't even in the competition until December.
Yeah, but I've all said all along, I've been asked that question through all the rounds now, and I don't believe in that at all. You've got to make your own luck, and we had to work very, very hard against a good Liverpool side today. And perhaps we got what we deserved at the end of the day. So, you know, we're still not there yet. It's the semi-final, and there's still another team to play before you get to the final.
From our own point of view, we lost 2 goals when we were in possession, which is always a bit disturbing. But having said that, the guy has different class. If you give him half a chance, and he'd missed 1 or 2 all day, hadn't quite been looking the world-class player he is, but you give him that last chance and it's bye-bye, isn't it?
I think it was a very exciting game. It was a very open game because both sides tried to attack the whole 90 minutes, and I mean, we scored a wonderful first goal with Teddy Sheringham, and yeah, during the whole second half we had the feeling that or Liverpool or us, we can score the second goal. And actually, maybe at the end, you know, both parts were happy with the tie, with the 1-1, and were thinking already about the game at White Hart Lane. And then suddenly this chance came up, and yeah, I took it.
Quite an emotional day for you, really, playing against your old club and it finishing like that.
Yeah, as I say, they come here, they've done a job. We let ourselves down on the day. We played a lot better than that, and fair credit them, you know, their heads are down here and there. But I mean, we got the league to go for, and obviously win the Coca-Cola Cup, so it's not that bad.
Now, have you chaps come to an agreement about whether justice was done today or not?
We've agreed that Liverpool were robbed. You've agreed. I've got your £2 and I'm happy. You might get it later.
Now, you weren't entirely happy with Liverpool's performance, were you?
Well, first of all, I thought that Tottenham played really well. They came and defended well. Mabbutt was just Mabbutt, and I thought the keeper played excellently again. But Liverpool today, all season long, they've played well defensively, individually and collectively, but today they just didn't get tight enough. And when you're playing against quality players, the Klinsmann and Sheringham of this world, you've got to pick up tight. This is a chance early on. Ruddock goes for the first ball. Now, they're back in numbers here. We've got Scales and Babb, but Klinsmann runs between the two of them. They leave it for each other, and that's a great opportunity early on, and James makes a great save. They've pressurised McManaman here. When Sheringham gets it, watch the line of Liverpool defence. We've got the 3 of them circled. We've got Scales, Ruddock, Babb. Nobody's picking up the lone figure at Klinsmann. At the top of your picture, you've got Mark Walters. You think there's no way Tottenham can even have an attacking move here, but Klinsmann picks it up. Barmby makes a great run through, and if that was a better pass, he was clean through and in goals. And again, we've circled Klinsmann here, so it's Sheringham is the front man, and he's got all the time in the world to turn, look up, run 2 or 3 yards, and play it into feet, and Tottenham on attack again. And if you're giving quality players time and space to play, then eventually they're going to cause you problems, and that's what happened.
What did you feel about the Spurs' performance overall, Gary? They got attacked on the wings early on, didn't they?
They did. That was their only threat. I thought they defended very well. They kept Liverpool away from goal. The only way they could get behind them was with perhaps Walters, who really only did it once, and it amounted in the goal. But I mean, everything Alan said about the way Liverpool played defensively was right, but you've still got to take advantage of that, and Teddy Sheringham did in particular today. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. When the ball gets knocked out, they will actually circle Teddy, and that's the sort of space he had all afternoon. But it would have been easy for him to run onto players, but he didn't. You see, he's looking around him, He has a little look, he knows he's in space. The ball gets knocked forward again, cleared. Bit of a lucky touch, but again, it would be easy for Teddy to join in the attack, but he's sitting there supporting if he's needed. On this occasion he wasn't, but he was there. Here you see him coming back. He wins the ball, worked very hard. Now he's making another run into space. His awareness all day of the space around him was superb, and his passing was as well. Through to Barnby, and only a great tackle from Bab stops a good chance there for Spurs. And here's the goal. Fabulous ball from David Howells into Klinsmann, who bad marking again from Liverpool. Big space for Klinsmann. Could have picked out Rosenthal, chose the right person. And that is a fabulous finish from Sheringham. Bad clearance there. Yeah. This is the other goal. Lovely touch here from Teddy. That's perfectly weighted. And Jurgen, as Roy Evans said, had missed one or two, miskicked a couple, but showed what a great strike he was there. Hit the one in that mattered.
He stays so cool when he gets those opportunities like that.
Well, he's been there. You know, the guy's won a World Cup winners' medal, so he's proven world-class striker over a long period of time, and that's why he's cool in the situation there in the last minute.
But apart from bets, either side could have won that today. I mean, there were three super goals.
It was really tight. I thought the first half was excellent. The second half went a bit dead. Liverpool had a lot of play and a lot of possession, but they played it across Tottenham. And I always thought if one team was going to score a goal, it was Tottenham.
Thank you. Let's move on now to the day's other quarter-final, Crystal Palace against Wolves. Wolves the only club left in the competition from outside the Premiership, of course. The match at Selhurst, the pitch taking a bashing there, the 5th game in 11 days. The commentary from Tony Gubber.
After only one goal in 10.5 hours of football, Crystal Palace had a confidence-building session with a hypnotist yesterday, and today manager Alan Smith completely shakes up a team still without its top scorer Chris Armstrong. Chris Coleman and Gareth Southgate will be at fullback, Andy Preece and Damien Matthew the wide players in midfield, with John Solarco up front alongside Ian Dowie. The aim is to create more crosses and hopefully more goals. Well, goals have been the stock in trade of Steve Bull at Wolves for almost 10 years, 244 of them so far, and he's back after being injured in the game in midweek in a Wolves team that will have to complete the season without its Dutch international defender John de Wolf, who underwent an operation in Holland yesterday. Brian Law will partner Peter Shirtliff in central defence, and Wolves are the only team left in this season's FA Cup from outside the Premier Division. The referee, Gary Willard of Worthing. The nightmare scenario for Crystal Palace would see them go out of both cup competitions in the space of 4 days and then fail to win a relegation fight. They're currently 20th in the Premier Division. Wolves, in comparison, could be going in the other direction. 3rd in Division 1, just 3 points behind the leaders, and looking to try and win that one promotion place outright. If not, maybe via the playoffs. Here's Smith. And Goodman peeling off. Coleman's right behind him. Blocks the cross at the expense of a corner. And Steve Bull and Kelly are both standing right on the goal line in front of Nigel Martin. Bull wins it. First strike from the Wolves number 9, who's been at Molineux since 1985. Brian Law won the header, hooked up by David Kelly. Free kick, which Crystal Palace have taken quickly. Richard Shaw into Solarco. Shirtliff's header. Preece is wide. Hit the back of James Smith. And the Crystal Palace throw. Back header by Preece, and it was a good one. There was nobody for Palace in the right spot. Oh, well done, Rankin. He's got space in front of him. Eric Young's come out of the middle. Preece. Newman. pitcher. Eric Young. Coleman. To Shaw. Southgate. And 16 is Darren Pitcher, faced by Gordon Cowans. It's a long cross, but Salako's underneath it, and it went out off the fullback. A Palace corner. Missed it off the line by Gordon Cowans after Stowell didn't hold it. Down by Salako very intelligently to Newman. This is good pressure by Palace. Salako, Rankin blocked him, and the ricochet finally went out of John Salako, so it'll be a goal kick. Cowans, the saviour, on the goal line, and it may just have come off the head of Eric Young. Richard Shaw will take the free kick for Palace. And only he and goalkeeper Nigel Martin are in the Palace half. Eric Young knocks it in. Not a bad strike. Oh, Ricky Newman turned. It was a crowded penalty area in front of him, and his intention was to try and find that top corner. In the end, perhaps a couple of feet in it. Who's operating wide today. Ball goes on his outside, and he was dispossessed by Priest, who finds Salako. Shirtliff holding Salako back. The whistle has gone. Even if it goes in, it won't count. It's going to be a free kick, and it's going to be a booking for Shirtliff. Now, what colour card has referee Gary Willard pulled out of his pocket? There was a flash of red, but it may have been a mistake. It's a yellow. And just for one horrible moment, when the referee took the card out, he took them both out, and Peter Shirtliff turned and he saw red. But he was certainly trying to hold Salako back. In fact, he was holding him back. In by Newman. The keeper comes, and Stowell claimed it well. It might have brought a better dividend for Palace if Salako had been allowed to run free. Now Priest will catch it. Smith forced him to turn. Here's Coleman. Palace wanted in the air. Dowie trying to get underneath it. Oh, a little handball by Brian Law. You'd have to question whether there was any intent. The referee shakes his head, but everybody in the ground thinks they saw Brian Law throw up a hand and touch the ball. Dowie's trying to get underneath it. Well, looked like handball from that angle. Whether it was intentional or not is another matter. Pitcher. Wolves have the throw. Again, Eric Young is the player in the penalty area who wins it. Rankin knocks it back. No flag. Here's Kelly. Martin got a touch on it, and it just knocked it out of the path of Steve Bull. Otherwise, the team from Division 1 would have opened the scoring. Palace looked questioningly across at the linesman on this near side, but there was no flag against Kelly. Again, they don't beat Eric Young. Have to go down as an excellent save by Nigel Martin, alongside the ones that he produced in the replay against Watford here. Priest on the chest of Salako, and Crystal Palace's inability to score continues for another 45 minutes of football. The only consolation for the team from the Premier Division is that the visitors from Wolves likewise haven't found the net at half-time here at Sellers Park. It's still on as even and goalless. Crystal Palace 0, Wolves 0. After their success in the fourth round replay against Sheffield Wednesday, when they won in the penalty shootout, Wolves would not, one suspect, be too dismayed to take Palace back to a replay at Molineux a week on Wednesday. Dennison had his hand across the shoulders of Damien Matthew. Free kick. Robbie Dennison, Northern Ireland international, has been at Wolves since 1987. Shaw with the free kick. Coleman knocks it down. Dowie! Yes! Palace open the scoring from Ian Dowie. Shaw's free kick from just inside halfway, knocked on by Coleman. Dowie swept it in. It's his third goal since his arrival at Palace from Southampton. And it's put Premier Division 1 up against First Division in this FA Cup quarter-final. They were 2-0 down against Mansfield in the third round, but that was only after 10 minutes. They had plenty of time to come back. Looking for Priest. Appeals for handball. Again, referee just runs away from all the protests. Southgate put it out. Kelly in a hurry to take it. Cowans. There's Damien Matthew. Brushed over. Play allowed to continue. Well, the goal stands. Cowans has scored. Gary Willard kept faith with his policy. In the first 3 quarters of the match, he allowed players to tussle. He didn't see an offence. Damien Matthew, who went down. Cowans picked his spot wide of Nigel Martin. It's 1-1, but it's not a goal without a talking point. This is Shaw. Brian Law. Cowans just hit it into the middle where Coleman was waiting. Good ball out to Priest. Keeper put a hand on it and it'll be a corner. He wasn't sure quite where he was. He'd watched the ball in flight all the way and maybe would have benefited from a shout from one of his defenders. Solarco. It's crowded. Whistle stayed silent. Oh, the keeper's on the floor. Dowie. Well, Wolves might have felt there'd been a foul on the keeper, but there was no whistle. And when the ball was knocked back in, Mike Stowell was way off his line, and Dowie's header just clearing the bar. It's a real crowd that the keeper's trying to come through. He didn't successfully get a fist on it and went down, and he suddenly realises the play is continuing. Just clearing the bar, may have touched the top of it. Cowans. Here's Rankin. Oh, he handled it. He lost the ball then, Mark Rankin, and he handled it on the floor, and that may be a caution. Peter Shirtliff already shown the yellow card for Wolves, and he lost out here and pulled it back with his left hand, and his caution. Looking for the header on by Priest. Out by Thompson. Oh, great save by Stowell from Coleman. Palace within inches of securing the victory in the last 2 minutes of the match. In comes the corner. Two Wolves players jumping for the same ball. Officially 1 minute of the 90 left. And it was a very late goal, remember, that enabled Palace to beat Watford in the 5th round replay. The last couple of minutes of extra time when Undar headed the goal. Over the head of Dyer. Coleman still forward. Eric Young still in there, and there's a flag on the near side. And Wolves have survived. Well, Mick Stowell preferred in goal by Wolves at the moment ahead of Paul Jones, who was certainly the cup hero earlier this season, especially in the first match in the replay against Sheffield Wednesday, saving then point blank from Chris Coleman. Gordon Cowan's equalising goal, looking increasingly as if it's earned Wolves a replay at Molineux, and another great night of cup football. Solarco battling for room to get in the cross, and he does. Dyer was in there, so too was Brian Law. Corner. We're well into stoppage time, and Wolves have got to hang on just a bit longer. Eric Young, wonderful save. Somehow Stowell got airborne and just clawed it away with the right hand. He won it well, there was pace on it. Andy Thompson will lift it as far as he can into the penalty area. Kelly looks for the back flick. Here's Rankin. The whistle's gone. It's 1-1. Graham Taylor's Wolves continue to live dangerously in the FA Cup. But you can't argue that the team from Division 1 deserved their draw and deserved their replay. And Palace will have to try and do what Sheffield Wednesday couldn't do at Molineux, and that's win in the replay. Final score here is Palace 1, Wolves 1.
2-0 down against Mansfield, you came back to win. A last-minute penalty save against Sheffield Wednesday, and then 3-0 down in the penalty shootout in the replay against Sheffield Wednesday, and you won that as well. You keep coming back from the jaws of death.
Well, Mickey Stowell saved us, didn't he, in the last minute as well, with a great save from, I think it was Eric Young's header. But that's of credit to them, you know, they're hanging on. We're learning about that. I mean, it's my first year at the club, and I think just generally now we're learning about having to dig results out and hang on in there and believe in ourselves, and this will do them no harm whatsoever.
What's your interpretation of the goal? Because one or two Palace supporters might have felt that you actually pushed Damien Matthew over.
Well, to be honest with him, I might have nudged him in the back. I mean, I was closing him down from behind, trying to get a toe on the ball, trying to poke it through to somebody. In the end, when he went over, I wasn't sure the ref was going to blow or what. Ended up the first shot for a long time.
Were you surprised that the referee didn't blow for a foul?
A little bit, yeah. But at the end of the day, you play till the whistle goes, don't you?
For the replay, hopefully, you'll have Chris Armstrong back.
Well, I'm hoping he's going to be back next week. I don't want to wait another fortnight. It's been bad enough sort of having this unknown period out, so the sooner he can get back. I really need him back for the league games. The Cup's a bonus for us. It's a nice bonus, but at the end of the day, we want to stay in the Premier League, and I need Armstrong back for this week.
Let's look back at one or two aspects of that game. First, a couple of penalties that might have been, should have been, were.
Should have been, were, yeah, but not given. The first one, Coleman plays it into the box. Now Brian Law goes up here, he jumps too early, hand comes out, it's a bit of a panic attack, and for me he's definitely handled that. He's very lucky to get away with it. And this one, Steve Bull gets the ball first. It's Richard Shaw comes in, no contact at all with the ball. And for me, again, a definite penalty kick.
Now Cowans was pretty honest about his goal there. We'll look at that in a moment, but take a look at the other goal first for us.
Yeah, it was a long ball forward, and I've actually circled the players at the far end there. Ian Dowie and Shirtliff who's marking. Now Dowie goes one way, and you'll see Shirtliff go the other. So Dowie's created the space for himself, but Shirtliff's really ball watch, got involved with a lot of players that he didn't really need to get involved with, and Dowie's got his space. And the number 5 that was also circled doesn't know what to do, that's Brian Law, and it's too late, it's in the back of the net. Now here, I mean, Gordon, I think, knows what he's done. He's got his arms all over him there, he's tripped him over. But it's a great finish, beautifully bent round Nigel Martin. And we'll see it from this angle, you can see he's got his arms on his arms there, and the referee's probably, the problem is the ref's too far away from the incident, I think. But Gordon's happy. So, and it's back to Molineux.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, was there?
Well, the referee didn't blow. He takes the shot and scores.
GBH, I think it was there.
Thank you very much.
You're always having a go at referees, you
always did.
Are you there? Sorry, I was just going to tell everybody about our live match tomorrow, which of course is Everton against Newcastle. We've got the semi-final draw as well, and we'll also have the goals from the Manchester United QPR tie, and a special programme for you on Monday night. Herbie Hyde defending his WBO heavyweight championship for the first time against the former undisputed champion Riddick Bowe. We've got that for you 10:10 on Monday night. We haven't finished here, though, because it's now the Premiership. Blackburn's lead at start of play, 3 points. 3 more away to Coventry this afternoon. We'll do very nicely in the chase for the title. Our man at this game, Gerald Sinstad.
Burrow's shot is on target. Oh, Shearer pulling away and got the header in despite 2 defenders close to him, Burrows and Rennie. Over Hendry's head, and real danger here. Pearce held it up, Dublin came in behind. Over Hendry's head, Dublin, look, is now nearly 10 yards behind the play. But then when Pearce struggles, Dublin comes in and agonisingly just inside the post. Corner to be taken by Ripley. Hendry had come to the near post as a decoy. Oh, Shearer's shot, and I think it came off the goalkeeper. Shearer really got a big whack to that. Fell nicely at his feet, and it was one of the defenders on the line who got it away. Oh, messing about on the edge of their area again. And Flowers has got it. Atkins going in onto the line as the corner is swung out wide. And the header, I think, from Pearce. And on the break, Peter Unlove for Coventry. In the middle, Marsh and Dublin. Shot from Unlove, and it was 5 yards wide. Ripley. Plenty in there. Hendry with the glancing header. And a great drive, virtually the first touch, in fact it was the first touch for Slater. Knocked down now, Ripley! Beautifully cushioned by Shearer's head. Top surface notably more slippery now, but here's Slater away. Ripley inside him, Slater going for another shot, saved and knocked out for a corner. Sherwood, Lasser. The pattern repeats and repeats. Gould comes. The referee has given the goal. Shearer really did wonder if there wasn't a hand that went up there too. Difficult to say. Shearer jumping, goalkeeper there, goalkeeper's fist didn't make contact, and Burrows could only follow it into the net. 2.5 minutes left, and they'll come looking for 3. Shearer again. He was not far wide, it was turned aside, it's a corner. Shearer, really good strike.
I thought first half's the best we've played since I've been at the club. Second half we took a battering. We expected to take a battering, and yet when they missed one or two of those chances, I thought maybe it's our day. But we've no complaints. Everybody on our side was totally committed, and at the end of the day we've got a point more than we started with.
Are you in any sense disappointed that you didn't get the 6-point advantage?
We're just happy to be in this position. If we keep playing like that, saying 45 minutes, and if you get a little bounce of the ball here and there, we're not going to be too far away.
Quite right, Kenny. Now, 4 other games to catch up on now, beginning with Leicester against Nottingham Forest.
Nobody's needs are greater than bottom club Leicester City's. What they didn't need after 7 minutes of today's derby match was this. The near post defender, Neil Lewis, makes 2 goal line clearances, the second with his hand. Penalty to Forest, red card to Lewis. The odds quickly stacked against Leicester, with Stuart Pearce blasting home the spot kick. But Mark McGee, still to see his team win a league game at Filbert Street, had no complaints with his 10-man team. They were on terms soon after, McGee signing Jamie Lawrence, finding the head of David Lowe. A thumping finish for 1-1. Goalkeepers were very much on the receiving end there today. The key period in the game came midway through the second half. Forest ferrying the ball around patiently for Ian Wone to pick out Stan Collymore. Every week there's a new rumour about Stan. Most weeks he has an answer. 4 minutes later he was involved in a Forest ambush. Breaking clear from a Leicester corner, they had a 3-1 advantage, and Ian Wone made it pay. Leicester have conceded 16 goals in their last 5 games. Scoring goals isn't anything like as much of a problem for them. They're playing some attractive stuff. Mark Draper won special praise again today. It was he who bounced one past Mark Crossley to make it 3-2 with 20 minutes to go. But that was as close as Leicester got. And in the final minute, Lars Bohinen teed up substitute Jason Lee to wrap up the victory. Leicester still bottom with 12 points between them and the safety mark. West Ham end a dramatic day just above that cut-off mark for the first time since the turn of the year. Norwich City, seeking their first league win of the year, took the lead midway through the first half. Darren Eadie beating Ludo McCloskey on his near post. Norwich have been finding goals difficult to come by of late. That was the last goal that referee Alan Wilkie presided over. He limped off with hamstring trouble. Senior linesman Martin Sims took over. What happened next? This. Just 3 minutes later, Norwich number 14, Spencer Pryor, had already been yellow carded. So when he cut across Tony Cottee and saw the new ref reaching for his pocket, well, he set off in the direction of the dressing room. But hold on there. One close-cropped haircut looks very much like another, and the new man had decided that number 19, Andy Johnson, was the guilty party. Pryor stayed on. FA observer, ex-ref Ray Lewis later confirmed it was a case of mistaken identity. But no doubting the identity of the number 14, who then laid on the second Norwich goal early in the second half. Spencer Pryor teeing up Robert Ullathorne. The 10 men, the wrong 10 men as it happened, 2-0 up. And that was the way it stayed till the last 10 minutes. Enter Tony Cottee, latching on to Don Hutchison's pass to halve the deficit. And then with just 2 minutes remaining, rescuing a point with his nose for where the clearest chance will fall in a chaotic penalty area. Definitely onside despite the appeals. West Ham definitely in the danger zone still.
We need to win 5 now and at the last 10. But, you know, who knows? Who knows where and when the wins might come. It's getting harder, obviously, as you run out of games, but we've still got 5 games at home to come, so there's every opportunity.
A diabolical day for Chelsea going into their European return with Bruges next week. Flickering pictures from Stamford Bridge, but Leeds taking a clear lead with 2 thumping goals in 4 minutes midway through the first half. Tony Yeboah is proving just the specialist goal scorer Leeds have been looking for. Chelsea's injury list is lengthening. Both Eddie Newton and Andy Myers joined it today. Brian Deane and Gary McAllister were given new roles by Howard Wilkinson. Both enjoyed themselves, McAllister making it 2-0. Mark Stein wasted Chelsea's best chance early in the second half. 2 minutes later, McAllister scattered the pigeons, and Yeboah had only to turn up to grab his 4th goal in as many starts for Leeds. When they're good, they're very good. Sadly, the morning headlines may belong to John Pemberton and Mark Stein, who got hot under the collar right under the referee's nose. Peter Jones had a front row view of raised hands from both players, but when the dust settled, all he raised were yellow cards. Restless natives at Hillsborough after Sheffield Wednesday's third successive home defeat. Trevor Francis admitted the crowd's anxiety is getting to his players. Wimbledon, in a rocky little run themselves, won the game with a second-half Alan Reeves goal. Wednesday and Wimbledon, 8th and 9th. Everyone below them is still in the relegation picture.
Now, the Norwich sending off was quite interesting there, wasn't it?
Bizarre.
Bizarre.
To say the least.
We've circled the guy who gets sent off, Johnson. He's nowhere near the incident.
He actually does he walks away here. I think he's actually hiding. He's doing a runner.
Fryer's going to go off. He's on his way off. What is Johnson doing with the referee in the first place? That's what I want to know.
Why did he walk to the referee?
Maybe he was complaining about Fryer being
the other
sent
guy
off,
sending him.
and then he gets sent off himself. I think it's Martin Sims straight to the opposition Monday morning.
At least he got the right colour shirt.
Well, that was a beginning. That was a beginning. Let's give you the league table position tonight then. At the top, Blackburn's draw at Coventry puts them 4 points ahead of United, who now have one game in hand. And at the bottom, Leicester's defeat by Nottingham Forest keeps them bottom and seemingly destined for the drop. Ipswich didn't play today. West Ham's draw against Norwich moves them up 1 place. Well, this goal from Alan Shearer extended his lead at the top of the hot shots to 7 goals. These are the current top scorers, Premiership goals only. Well, there we are. That's part 1 of Match of the Day. Part 2 begins tomorrow afternoon at 2:50, as once again we follow the road to Wembley with Everton against Newcastle live. Spurs and Jurgen Klinsmann are only 1 win away. Good night.
Anderson got it back in. Oh, and here's Klinsmann for a great chance. It's Klinsmann for Tottenham, and he's got it with 2 minutes to go.
And a reminder that, of course, you can see Everton v Newcastle this afternoon at 2:50 here on BBC One. Viewers in Scotland can see Hearts against Dundee United in the Scottish